with you to just share a little bit about musical settings of the Shema. Hopefully you've been tuning in. Pastor Nick has been talking about Hebrew text, and we've been talking about parenting in our sermon series. And so one of the important texts that we're using is called the Shema. And what that is a passage from Deuteronomy 6, starting in chapter 4. And I'd just like to read it to you to get started today. Deuteronomy 6, verse 4 through 9. Israel, listen, our God is the Lord, only the Lord. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your strength. These words that I am commanding you today must always be on your minds. Recite them to your children. Talk about them when you're sitting around your house and when you are out and about, when you are lying down and when you are getting up. Tie them on your hand as a sign. They should be on your forehead as a symbol. Write them on your house's door frames and on your city gates. This is an important Hebrew text, and our Jewish brothers and sisters pray this prayer morning and evening. They teach this to their children. And so I was asked to find some musical settings of the Shema, this text, and there isn't one in our hymnal that's an obvious choice. There are lots of paraphrases of this Deuteronomy text. In fact, Matthew chapter 22, verse 37, talks about loving the Lord our God with all our heart and our soul and our strength and our mind. So this text has been repeated throughout our scriptures, Old and New. And I was surprised that there wasn't just a direct paraphrase in our hymnal. But I did find a hymn by Isaac Watts in the late 1700s. And this is a text that was published in a hymnal called Divine and Moral Songs. And the text says, love God with all your soul and strength, with all your heart and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Be faithful, just, and kind. Deal with another as you'd have another deal with you. What you're unwilling to receive, be sure you never do. Thought that was kind of a fun text. And I found this hymn that Isaac Watts wrote. It's not an Our United Methodist hymnal, but it has appeared in other hymnals as well, especially in the early 1800s. And it goes like this. It's called Love God with All Your Soul and Strength. Maybe you're familiar with it if you're familiar with old hymns as well. It goes, love God with all your soul and strength, with all your heart and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Be faithful, just, and kind. A good hymn. And then I found a contemporary setting, which immediately came to my mind when I was asked to share a musical setting of the Shema. And that's an old song, actually, from 2015. A contemporary composer, his name is Lincoln Brewster, wrote a song, and it's called Love the Lord. And it popped into my head immediately because it takes a direct line from the Shema. And it goes like this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And then it repeats. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And then it goes on from there, but that's kind of the refrain that repeats over and over and over. So as United Methodist, we sing our faith. We are a singing people. And just as our Jewish brothers and sisters teach their children these scriptures, we too teach our children, and we hide these truths in our heart using songs, contemporary worship songs, or hymns, and that helps us to remember God's promise to us, and that we are to love God with all our heart, our soul, our mind, and our strength. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little time reflecting on these passages from Deuteronomy 6:4 and what I read through 9, and that maybe these songs would just kind of encourage you in your spiritual journey. So thank you so much. Have a great day. God